Hi, I'm Connie with Mobile Paw Spa, and this is Lady. And today we're talking coat care for doodles. There's so many different kinds of doodles, and they've become such popular dogs. And one of the reasons for that is because they're very low shedding. But low shedding does not mean low maintenance, and that's what we're going to focus on today. So starting at the puppy stage, which obviously Lady is not, it's very important to get them used to the grooming process because they have a whole lifetime of grooming ahead of them. So one of the easiest things you can start with is just working with their feet and just touching their feet and getting them used to that. That can really help with nail clipping. And then if you're prepared to give them their first bath, great. You might even want to take your own hair dryer, use it on low, and hold it a little bit further away. Because most often it's the noise of the dryer versus the water itself that can be scary in the bathing process. The two most important things, a brush and a comb. And this is from puppy all the way to adult stage. Now, most of you probably have a slicker brush and they're great, but I will tell you, there can be some knots and tangles and the slicker brush can go right over that. So it's very important to use a comb instead. The comb is going to get, you see that doesn't go through quite as easy. The comb is going to find those knots and tangles, and when you do find them, then you can use your brush to work them out. And the areas that you really want to focus on, behind the ears, that's one spot, right? Kind of behind in there where they tend to tangle up. Also the hair on the ears and around the face, and with puppies too, it's important to get them used to having their face handled. And she's sitting down so nicely, I don't want to interrupt her, but armpits, that's another area that you want to get into. The friction can cause the hair to tangle up in there. And then inside of the back legs, and then also the tail. Those are areas you really want to focus on. And obviously, if you have a smaller doodle, get a smaller comb, but just anything that looks like this will work great. Now, when should you do their first groom? I would say, first professional grooming, I would say 2 to 3 months is what I see for an average. And you just kind of want to ease them into it for their first time at a groomer. And so you don't want to do a full body haircut unless it's absolutely necessary. It's nice to be able to just do the bathing and the drying and maybe do some light trimming around their eyes and around their feet. Clip the nails, of course, and then cleaning and plucking their ears. Now, that gets us to ears, and let's see, I'm not sure, Lady gets done fairly often, but she's already getting some hair in there. But doodles do tend to get a lot of hair in their ear canal. And now, all veterinarians don't agree that the hair should be plucked out. The ones that I've talked to do recommend getting that hair out because it can lead to more problems like ear infections, for instance. So do keep an eye on that if you have a puppy so the ears don't get so full of hair because it's really tough on them to have to try to get it out all at once. And as far as costs go for grooming, well, this is just going to be a very loose estimate. I'm going to say about every 8 weeks. Lady here is on a 6-week schedule, but if we figure 8 weeks, and cost-wise, I'm going to say about $80. If you have a small doodle, it's going to be less, and if you have a larger doodle and you want to keep the coat longer, it could run considerably more than that. And then over the span of a 15-year lifetime, that's over $7,000 just for grooming. So that can really add up. And am I telling you this? Am I trying to talk you out of getting a doodle? Well, absolutely not. They're wonderful dogs, but it's just in your best interest and your dog's best interest that you're prepared for all of this. And with these tips, it's going to make the whole grooming process easier on your dog and easier on your budget, because if you're using your brush and comb and you are managing the tangles and knots and your dog is not matting up, you may be able to go a little bit longer in between appointments, and you'll definitely not have to pay the extra charges for matting. So I hope these tips will help you, and if you have any questions, I'm always happy to hear from you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and Lady and I thank you so much for watching today.